And this is from yesterday, all the stuff that I didn't get to because me and Gavin, we do our Wednesday show. And when me and Gavin get talking, I'm just a preparing machine. So I don't know. I don't go, oh, it's Wednesday tomorrow. Gavin's there. Let me just not prepare. So, I do all this. And then I have that from yesterday. And then today, so I don't know. If I took calls, I'd ask you for your opinion. If I stared at a chat during the entire show, I might ask you for opinion. But that would mean I hadn't had any prep at all, because most of the people that do a podcast, they just stare. They stare at their chat. They go, yeah, Oh, $2.99. Awesome. Haley Joel Osment, that kid. I See Dead People kid, and he was played Forrest Gump's little child there with AIDS Jenny, and he was in that other movie with the robots. The movie with the robots. AI. Yeah, that kid. He's had some issues as he's grown and grown. Oh, you see him? He rock. Kidding. And he had some type of a DWI a while back, but now he's been arrested for public intoxication. And it was at a ski resort, a California ski resort. Now, I got to say, I have to assume you got to be so up to get a public intoxication at a ski resort. Everyone's drinking. You're in public the whole time. So it's you have to probably be very obnoxious, very maybe violent. I don't know what, but that is something. So I was glad to see there's some video of this. And while he doesn't seem to be violent, he does seem to be completely out of touch and not really able to listen to people. And he was blocking a ski lift. So let's watch this.
I mean, the backwards helmet is a dead giveaway. Yeah.
His helmet's on backwards.
You notice that?
Yeah.
That might be a clue also.
The fact that he's had a little too much.
I want to ski. And then look, he kind of walks away. He's all kinds of up. But he walked away. I guess the cops talked to him. But, you got a few things going for you there. It's a ski resort. What happens there that's so crazy? You're the I See Dead People kid. You pull that out to the cop. It's not violent at all. Maybe just go, I'll go inside. I'll hang out. So maybe he started shit talking the cops or, maybe something. But because I can't imagine that's your only charge or the only thing you did wrong was that you're publicly intoxicated at a ski resort. Everyone is. You wouldn't go down some of those hills if you didn't have a few drinks in you, right? But it's funny that they didn't know who he was, even when he turned around. You see his big fat face in the helmet and, because they'd have been like, hey, get out of the way. I see assholes by the ski lift. Something like that, maybe, But no. Terrence Howard has a new podcast. I am ready for the destruction of the podcast thing, the podcast pyramid, all the podcasts that are out there. Everyone has one. It's just what it is. Everyone's got a podcast. And this one, though, look out. Terrence Howard has a new podcast about Hollywood heavyweights, and he's going to be spilling. He's going to be dishing what's going on. He's living every actor's dream. And he says it's like every Hollywood insider's nightmare. All these, because he's gonna dish all the dirt. We see what happens. Look, poor Haley Joel Osment. He was just standing, staring at a ski lift like a retard. So, what is he gonna do? What is Terrence Howard gonna do? I'll tell you what happened. He went on Rogan. And a lot of times these guys go on Rogan, they're interested. He's a weird motherfucker. We interviewed him on O&A years ago, and he's just a weirdo. You can't even understand a lot of shit he's saying. So he goes on Rogan, and clips get posted because it's kind of interesting to watch somebody as nutty as Terrence Howard on a show as huge as Rogan. But they go on these big podcasts. And then they go, well, we should do that. We should just do a podcast. It happens all the time. They go on it used to be radio shows like Howard Stern. Howard would have a guest on, and sometimes they'd be recurring, and you'd get these, and then out of nowhere, they'd be like, well, I'm a good guest on the radio. I'm going to now do a radio show. And one of the greatest examples of how that does not work was David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth used to go on Howard, and it was funny because David Lee Roth talks in sound bites. And he's talking about Van Halen and touring and chicks and booze and the band and some of his party guy philosophy. But all he does is talk in sound bites. And that's great. Howard does the show. You kind of talk in sound bites. Why they thought he could then helm a radio show is mental. He didn't for very long, thank God, because then me and Opie slid right in there and cleaned up the David Lee Roth mess over at K-Rock. But that's what people do. And now I think with podcasting too, they go into a big podcast like Rogan, and then they do well. People go like, oh, you were awesome on Rogan. You should do a podcast. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's like in the 80s. You're pretty funny, man. You were cracking the conference room up. You should be a comic. Oh, yeah, there is an open mic night at the 20 comedy clubs in my neighborhood because it's the early 80s. Yeah, and then before you know it, they have a special. They're on HBO. They're this. And then the weight of all the hacks just couldn't, the comedy pyramid couldn't support the weight of all the hacks. And that ended. And I'm just waiting for that to happen with podcasting, please. Every dummy that puts their mouth in front of a microphone is now, Joe Rogan. They're the next big thing. And it's very, very rare that you'll listen or watch one of these podcasts and go, ooh, wow, that was good. Very rare. But Terrence Howard, it's just going to be another bomb. But they'll probably pay him money for it. SiriusXM will give him money, or someone else, some other podcast company, Spotify, because it's a name. They just want names. They don't care if they could broadcast or not. They want a name that is recognizable, and by God, you're a podcaster. Go to town, my friend.